All right. How's it going? Hope everybody's doing good. Sorry for the late start today. Had to drive back. Woke up pretty early to get back here on time. A nice 3.5 hour drive, but we're here and we're ready to start working on the game again. So, last time, if we go ahead and load into the game, we kind of accounted for a little bit of things. These zones, I mean, they're not, you can't really see them right now, but if we press B and go into building mode and we select one, we can place that and they will place in the correct grid area. It's actually working now. That where you're seeing the cursor is a little bit off, of course, is it's a square grid of one size units. So we account for having some other things taken up, like so. But yeah, you can kind of see how that's supposed to be working. It's interesting. Found a little bug right here. But that's okay. See, that's also working. Like so. Oh, we're also out of money. But yeah, we can make long tables, and we got smaller tables as well. These cost 50 apiece, and we have basic currency set up to where you can only buy as much as your currency can hold. And actually, this is a different zone, believe it or not. That's why you can kind of see how it can look a little weird right there. That's okay for now. But yeah. So, what's on today's agenda? Well, obviously you need to be able to know where you can place these objects. So for that, if we actually look right here, today I think we're going to focus on a ghost object on hover. So when we're in building mode, like so, how would we denote basically which one we have selected? We'll probably have a little hotbar down here saying which ones you can select, highlighting it. But also, while you're in building mode, you should be able to basically have a ghost object hovering, to which will snap to the grid based on the place you are. If you're off the grid, then it will probably follow your cursor, like so. Just exactly how the cursor object is. So it'll be actually pretty simple to get this set up, because all we're going to have to do is place the bottom of the mesh at the same position as this cursor object, which is already here in game. And since we're not here on a zone over here or anything, it's just going to be transparent and have a saturation of red, and we're basically just not going to be allowed to place things, of course. Let's get out of building mode and start screwing these guys up. Yeah. Oh, somehow he hit me really hard right there. But yeah, but over here, if we go into our game controller, placeable controller, and highlight our placeable zones, you can kind of see where these zones, they kind of look like. So if our cursor was there in building mode and that hovering object, it would start snapping to the grid, which also you cannot see right now because we turned off instantiating objects. The grid is actually not game objects in the world. It is completely just a data structure that's created, basically holding a position that's local to the object with an offset. So basically 0, 0 would be right here, and this would be the max value. Instead of how Unity usually handles it, it branches out from the middle. I don't know, just made sense in my head. Probably would have been easier to start out by branching it from the middle, not having to set that offset or transform or anything. Another weird thing we had to encounter is this type of zone right here. It required a offset of +1 plus the offset already to, I think, the X value, and this one actually didn't need the X value. It needed the Z value to correctly align that grid up. But we slowly but surely figured it out after we were messing around with things, and it seems to be working. So now we're going to focus on the hovering objects. We also have to make sure we check for the correct allowable zone for placing in here. So if we go into our prefabs, environmental, we have some placeable objects in here, as you can see, denoted as movable objects. Current zone, allowed zones, this is where we're going to start actually adding these type of zones. And basically, I think what we're going to do here is these are going to be static right now, at least to the what's it called, the game world. So some ways we can handle this is actually, instead of having allowed zones, we basically just have a allowed zones list of strings that are going to denote the tags. So it needs to be in the placeable zones layer, and then their tag has to match up. As you see, these two are named differently, but they have the same tag. So that would denote that it would be allowed to place in the dining area tag. That's just some handy dandy Unity stuff. Do like this tagging and layering they have in Unity. It definitely helps out a lot with some specifics. But as the game progresses, who knows what will come up. Also, if I'm typing weird, I cut my finger cutting an onion yesterday, so luckily this keyboard is pretty sensitive, so I won't have to press too hard to get it actually denoted. Okay, so let's jump right in. So if we go in here, here's our placeable zone, placeable controller. Ghost object on hover. So this ghost object, the alpha is going to be half. If it is over a placeable zone, if over a placeable zone and objects allowed to be placed in the zone, the snap to a grid position using get placeable tile world position, which is that zone. If not on zone, then saturation is red and no snapping, only in building mode. Okay, so where do we start with this? So we know that whatever basically object is going to need to be instantiated. These have to be actual game objects in the world. So basically what's going to happen is when we're in building mode, it's going to spawn whatever selected, like so. I just dragged that small table in. It's going to spawn whatever selected object we have at this position. We can set them to have the Y positions of 0.112 because that is kind of how we're handling it. That's kind of the offset that's working for us, and luckily we can be a little bit flexible with that because it is a fixed camera angle, and we're not like going to be able to ever zoom in on this. It's always looking down, so something that makes it a little easier. But yeah, so basically when we're in building mode, let's say we're over in not the area, kind of just follow us like this. I think the material, we need to establish it as a new material right here. If we go in here, we have, some of these, and basically maybe put a shader or something. We'll probably have to dive a little deep into materials and shaders today to figure out how we can set the alpha. I know in 2D, when you use sprites, it's as easy as setting like the alpha to like half or whatever it looks good. But we're definitely going to want to have like a saturation of red too, when it's not allowed to be placed. Like if, for instance, this would be transparent and like kind of like a ghost object and red right here. But when we're right here, it would be kind of white transparency. And when we press place, it would place and then kind of pop up red, making sure that tile is not actually obstructed. But yeah, so we have a good bit of access to a bunch of things using our script since we made them component based. We have like a selected tile based on where the cursor is in these zones, and we have access to a lot of things. So this is a big inner working connected system, probably not the best constructed, but it's kind of working right now. So we'll come back and mess around with that at a later date. Okay, so where to exactly start? So When we enter building mode, we press B in the player controller. So on building mode enter, building mode equals not building mode. So on build, we'll say if building mode, or actually now. Okay, let's see. So what we need to know here. What has access to our cursor? I think the zone has access to the cursor. Or what's using the cursor? Okay, so we're using player controller right here. We got some layer mask, and we're using the instance to select the placeable zone. And in the placeable zone, or is it player controller? This is where you gotta remember how to do this. So, instantiate it, get placeable tile world position, which is right here, which is the selected tile, right? Selected tile, yep. And selected tile is selected, I think down here. Yeah, on trigger stay. If, yeah, on our cursor entering a trigger. Like so. So, we're using basically a trigger to have that world position. And that's where we get the selected tile. So down here, on trigger enter. So fixed update. Let's see. So we can make. Let's see. So in our placeable controller, this is our placeable objects right here. So maybe we have access to that. That would make sense. So maybe we handle this in the placeable controller, because basically what we're going to be doing is having access to our cursor. And how are we going to do that is we just kind of grab the cursor object that would be tied to the player, and then just basically set this ghost object to, what's it called? This ghost object to that position. So let's see. Let's look this up. Unity 3D, make a existing object transparent with different saturation. When it's between, I'm gonna make a semi-print. Unity 3D. Do it with material shaders. Perhaps art can be link is broken. Oh, that's great. Link is broken. You need to either write a shader or use shader graph, or just make a material that uses shader with transparent settings. Then you need to find out how to expose the alpha value. If the shader is in the shader graph, one you made, this is the easiest. You can create a float property called alpha/CSV and connect it to the alpha. You should also click into your property and update the reference name to match the name. Okay. How can I change? Because we need to do this programmatically, right? Business and opaque. Is that possible? If it is, then how? Using material that supports translucency. Material.color, and we can set the color like so. You're setting transfer large amounts. No, we're only doing one. So maybe this might work. We could see if that is the case. But yeah. All right. Where to start then? Where to start on this? Let's pull this bad boy up. Okay. So we got our cursor and our placeable controller. We have our place object. Void awake and void update. Okay, and then I guess on our update we're going to be if player controller? No. Okay. So maybe not in here. We'll have, how about we do this? Do a public boolean building mode. And that equals false. And basically what we're gonna do is placeable controller dot instance dot building mode equals building mode, like so. So now we have access to the building mode, and here, this is single player only right now, unfortunately. I do in the future want this game to be multiplayer, so a lot of this is gonna have to be rewritten, but for now, let's get the single player set up. I know sometimes a lot of people recommend not doing or making the game multiplayer with like having that in mind always. I don't really know what to do here for that though. It's okay. All right. So we're gonna do a if building mode. Like so. Then we'll do a we'll just have a hover, or we'll do ghost object. Like so. And so. Let's have a right here. A private. Oh, we actually have an object right here. Selected placeable object, like so. Or we'll do a private ghost. Do a private game object, ghost object. So. Ghost object is going to equal to the selected placeable object, like so. All right. That's not in the world. So we'll do if no ghost object, then we're going to instantiate. We'll do ghost object is equal to instantiate select. We'll do a selected placeable object at okay. So then we need access to our cursor. So let's see. Can I get... Don't want to do this with an instance because there's going to be multiple cursor objects. We'll do a... Not on a trigger enter, on a fixed update. Hovered placeable object. Okay. Then... instantiate, and we want this at the like a cursor, the cursor's transform. So how are we going to get access to the cursor? Let's think about this. There's a few ways. We can, of course, just tie it to the game object, just setting a public field. Yeah, let's just do that for now. Do a public game object cursor, like so, and then we're just going to do a cursor dot transform dot position. Right? Is that okay? And then a quaternion dot identity, like so. So now we have access to that object. We also need to keep track of, so if in building mode, so that will not equal to the same one because we're instantiating it. Maybe there's a way to figure that out in a little bit. So if we do not have a ghost object in the scene, we're going to instantiate it at our cursor position. Else ghost object dot transform dot position equals cursor dot transform dot position. So let's see here. If building mode, else we're going to destroy ghost object. Then ghost object is set equal to null, like so. Ghost object dot game object, and then ghost object is equal to null. Okay, that might work. Or now we'll do if ghost object does not equal null, like so. Okay. Quite a bit of saving right there going on. Just trying to do some forethought, trying to make sure that the that little nice fun red text doesn't pop up. We don't like the red text. Okay. So we enter building mode. Oh, we don't have a cursor, of course. There's our cursor, and we're just gonna drag that in for now. Okay. And we should see right here that building mode's enabled. Variable placeable objects of placeable code has not been assigned. Data. Oh. Then if I scroll, and there we go. Yes. So we have that. And if we place that, if we click. Okay, yeah. So there's that going on. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we're able to place that like so. Okay. Kind of see where this is getting placed. Like so. Interesting for sure. Okay. So there's that. We actually are doing that. And if we press B, it disappears. Press B again. Okay. So if no ghost object and selected placeable object does not equal null, then else if ghost object okay. There we go. All we have to do really is here too. A private bool changed objects equals false. So if building mode, else destroy it. If changed objects, then we're going to destroy ghost object dot game object, and then ghost object equals to null, like so. Okay. So what is this going to do? That is going to make it so that, oh wait, actually, never mind. If changed objects, okay. So in here, we didn't actually set this. If selected placeable object does not equal previous selected placeable object, then changed objects equals true. Changed objects equals false. Okay. So we'll have another private game object selected placeable object, like so. Okay. Then we want that on select placeable object, placeable objects index. After all this, we'll do a prev placeable object equals select placeable object. Okay. So that's going to be changed out of true, destroyed it. Then we... Interesting. Alright, actually that might be okay. Okay. Let's press B. Object reference not set to an instance. Okay, so here we go. Oh yeah, and there's still colliders on here, so we'll have to disable the colliders on these ghost objects. But we can place those. Okay, so what was going on here? Destroy ghost. Okay, if changed objects, and ghost object does not equal null. And then we're going to add that up here as well. And that, I can foresee, might have some problems, but we're just trying to get those error messages to go away. Okay, there we go. Oh, of course. Gonna get some problems there because we updated the script while we were running. Okay. In the game. B. Cool. Like so. Can check which object we're setting. Like so. And it seems to actually be setting the transform position correctly. Of course, I can move myself, so cheat code. Whoa! But we'll just disable the colliders. And such, and if we're touching, oh, look at that. Look at that, we're standing on top of something. And we're falling. And we're back up. Okay, cool. So now we have this, we're gonna also do a ghost object dot game object dot get component dot collider, and we're going to enable that false, like so, and let's do a ghost object dot material, or dot game object dot material, or no, the transform dot material. What was it that we just saw here? Get component mesh render material dot color. Okay, so ghost object dot probably don't need a game object object here. Dot get component, and we're gonna get our mesh render. Enable equals true. We want a material, and I think that's a material dot color, right? Yeah. Material dot color equals new color. Let's do a 1, 1, 1, comma 0.5f. And let's just, for the sake of we're in insert mode, for simplicity, try that out. So if selected pixel zone does not equal null, then ghost object dot transform dot position equals selected placeable, not zone, not transform, dot selected tile, or no, actually that's going to be dot get no, wait, where to get placeable tile world position, else then we're setting it to the cursor transform location. Okay, so let's see if that does what we want it to do. Should start snapping to the grid. So in build mode, collider is not attached to circular table, but a script is trying to act. So there we go. We are snapping to our grid so we can know where they're going to be placed. So look at that go. Look at that. Okay, we're out of money. Okay, look at that, guys. The material is not getting changed, but get component and children. Component and children, because these are actual top level objects to where we need, of course, our collider and mesh render and the actual mesh that we have as the child object of the placeable object. Okay. Like so. There's a lot of different ways you can do a bunch of stuff like this. For instance, what you can do is you could even in the placeable object have references to all those objects you wanted. Okay. So the color and mesh is not quite what we wanted, of course. Something's wrong with the circular table. Actually, never mind. It's not. But yeah, so we're disabling collider, then we place it. Collider's enabled. We can, of course, keep doing that. We'll do if change object, else destroy. Building mode. And player controller. Do we have access to player controller? No, because we don't want it. We basically want the object destroyed and the ghost object to equal null while we're hovering over a object, because obviously you want to be not having like two objects popping up right there. So on building mode, placeable controller, instance of building mode. Let's do another bool. Private bool player hovering object equals false defaultly. Player controller, if hovered placeable object does not equal null, then placeable controller dot instance dot do player, is that private? Yeah, we want public. Like so. Player hover player hovering object equals true. Else placeable controller dot instance dot player hovering object equals false. So now that will make it so if we're over an object, if we add it to here and not player hovering object, that'll make it so if we're in building mode and not so even if we go out of building mode, it will still destroy it no matter what, so it doesn't matter if we're not hovering the object. If this is set to true or false. But yeah, so if player is hovering object, then we're going to also destroy that and basically reinstantiate it. So this is not working. It seems like, let's go dive into the small table. That's right here. Right? Where are you? Where did you go? Why are you invisible? Oh, because your mesh object is destroyed for some reason. Let's go in here. So if we go into our mesh renderer, we have materials, element 1 and element 2. So we actually have 2. So if we do that, yeah, that's where that goes away. Lighting, cast shadows, probes, additional settings, movement vectors. So let's see. So we got base maps, occlusion, emission, tiling. Have not worked with shaders yet. Base map. Can we turn that all the way? What does that do? Doesn't seem like it did anything. Okay. We might have to be making a material here. So if we go to art materials, we need to create a new shader. No, shader graph, URP. Oh boy. Now this is where things are going to get interesting. So animation, audio, rendering, there's the material. Let's see what happens. We'll do a hoverable object. No, because this needs to be red. So if we have the base map, what if we, how do we make it transparent? Metallic? Maybe a little bit. Smooth this. Do really smooth. Normal map. Height map. Occlusion map. Emission. Okay. So now if I, for instance, go over here, grab you, and now drag you on there. You do not look very transparent. Yeah, okay. So, alpha 0, opaque, transparent, thing in between. Changing transparent without crying a new material. That does not seem to be doing something interesting, though. So let's go put you. Is it supposed to render in game, maybe? Because that should be basically invisible. Okay, gonna run. And you're not invisible. Okay. Let's see. Transparent. For object transfer for 2 seconds by scripting at runtime. True.color A. Item modify color.a. You just need to use a temporary variable. It's kind of hacky. Change alpha. Old color, new color. Set color, new color. Matte.set color. This material matte. Okay. To make the material you want to be finished under the rendering mode. Then click on the small round albedo until you find the one called UI mask. Highlight it and press enter. This is a hard fix. I'm not sure if you can change this with code. Shaders you can quickly and efficiently change at runtime. Create a new material and set the shader to use the unlit/transparent cutout. Assign your game object to this material. Okay, so if we go here, manage options, shader, we want trans. Oh, okay. So if we go here, let's see what you look like. Okay. Look at that. Transparent. But let's see, transparent cutout. Okay, we're just gonna keep messing around with this. Oh my. Oh my. Whoa! Okay, we're messing around with shaders for the first time. That's definitely very transparent. Let's see. UI/lit. Probably want unlit, right? Okay, so we got a tint. Okay, cool. So this is where we got a tint, and we can turn it to red, like so. And the alpha, that's still pretty, it will say kind of dark. I mean, kind of very transparent. Actually, you know what we're going to be doing is we're going to put you back like so. And we're going to put a nice little actual table in our scene because we need to see how this looks, like, in general. Okay, so prefab asset art, materials, hoverable object. We want a transparent. We got a bunch of different settings here. Diffusion, but let's just go to UI/lit. And we're gonna just literally drag you on to our guy. Okay, so that probably not lit. So let's try transparent, unlit. Okay, so there's what that would look like. Kind of don't want to add that. Albedo or transparent. Autodesk Interactive. Okay, so this is gonna take a little bit to load. Like so. Okay, that's looking a little bit better, I will say. So if we go here, base color, let's turn it to red. Use normal map. Okay. Use metallic map now. So we need to be imagining it like this. This is fucking nuts, dude. Hoverable, no. Okay. Okay, there we go. can do that. Set its material to this material. So let's actually even just copy and paste that. And we're going to use this bad boy. We're going to inspector. Can we edit name, please? Maybe not. Okay. Delete. And what we're going to do is we're going to go create another one. Another rendering material. We're going to call this one a hoverable object. Okay. And we're going to go to transparent again. Autodesk add interactive. Now, simply if we do that, use color map. Yeah, we want it white, but I definitely want it a little bit more. Okay, like so. A lot more transparent. Like that. So like makes it look like it's supposed to, you know? Okay, cool. So that should work. So if we go back to placeable controller, we have that. Let's delete this bad boy. And let's go in here. And we're going to have two materials. So public material, hoverable, okay. And public material, hoverable, no. Like so. Okay. And now we'll be able to save that. Like so. Placeable controller. So hoverable, okay. Go there. Hoverable, no, you go there. So now we have access to those materials. And if we go to ghost object, so if selected placeable non-material, so we don't need this. What we're gonna want to do is, so if selectable placeable tone equals that, else. So, okay. Ghost transform position equals selectable placeable zone. So if selected placeable zone dot. Okay. So how do we know if we can place it in here? Check obstructions. So we have our selected placeable object, right? Selected tile. Oh, easy. Selected placeable not selected tile. Dot is obstructed. Does okay, yeah. Like so. Else. Else, like so. Then we're gonna do our ghost object dot get component dot mesh render dot material is equal to hoverable. Okay. Else ghost object equals no. That is obstructed, or what we'll do is actually this dot check obstructions dot, and then we'll do a obstructions selected placeable object dot x no dot get component placeable object dot x comma dot y. Is that right? X size and Y size. No, we wouldn't X size and Y size. Yeah. X size and Y size. -1. -1. Okay. Else. Basically this. Okay, cool. Cool. So now if I press B, go in here. Circle chronology, but it's script. There's no. Oh yeah, obviously. Component in children again. Like so. Okay. B. Bam. That is okay. That works for there. Shiny. Interesting. Not working here. Yeah. So the top isn't as well. So it's just setting it to. So for instance, we go in here, go in here. You can see, yeah, we can see our red. But we can see that it still has the other actual shaders attached to it. It has 2. So probably don't want that. Okay, so since we have 2 materials, we want to remove basically first instantiation. So we'll do while that does not equal null. Basically a very janky solution. Equals null. And then we're going to basically set it to this. Like so. So this returns the first instantiated material assigned to the renderer. Once we set it to null, then it's going to probably remove the other material. Don't really know how this is going to work, actually. We'll see if this works. This might actually do nothing. B. It completely broke the game, because we are now in an infinite loop, because this will never be null. Well, not. Yeah, will never be null. So that's going to be frozen for a while. We're going to do a, let's see, Unity 3D remove all materials from object to be replaced. Select programmatically. Programmatically. Like so. Alright, you back yet? No. Unity is not back. Dot materials. Okay. So if I go here, dot materials. So we'll do materials equal null, and then material equals null now. All right, so now I'm a little concerned because this is frozen. We're gonna go ahead and close out of that and relaunch our waffle project. Waffle's already open, yeah, but he's frozen because we're stuck in an infinite loop because I'm an idiot. Let's see. Come on, Unity. Oh, we didn't save a lot of things. But it's okay, because... Oh, okay, the materials. Oh. And such. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. All right, Mr. Unity. You're gonna have to get, unfortunately, forcibly closed. Oh yeah, he's using up all the memory. Quite unfortunate. But, delete. So, alright, that's gonna, unfortunately, be quite unfortunate for us. Alright, so what we're gonna do is go to no show because this is gonna take a little bit to load up because the computer's a little slow. Okay, we are back up and running. Now we have, we're going to save it like that and save like that because we need to reload this whole domain. Uh-oh. Okay, let's try running this. Reloading the domain. Yep. And it's going to take a little bit. So go here, B, cursor. Yeah, so that's why we didn't save a bunch of that. So let's go here. So our cursor object is right here. Art, materials, okay, and not okay. Save that this time. Let's make sure we start saving the scene every single time. Okay. Then press B. Okay, that's transparent, right? Oh, you're not right. Transparent. Unlit. No, that's not right. Transparent. Autodesk. Using color map and using normal map. Okay, save that. You're right, you're right. Okay, cool. There's that saved, right? You saved, okay. Let's see what else we need to do. Oh, we needed materials equals null. Let's, yeah, save cursor, I guess. Close out of that. Reload the scripts. Placeable controller. So, okay, materials. Let's see, dot, clone equals initialize. Can do that enabled? No. I don't think this is going to disable the materials. Okay. B. For instance, if we can kind of see object not set. Where are we seeing this? Okay. Yeah, you should only be able to go there, but yeah, so that's transparent. Place that, and then he turns red. Like that. But that should also be red. But yeah, it's only the bottom mesh because I'm not disabling it. And now something weird's going on to where our transformed position. So placeable zone does not equal null. Gets that. Else. That. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Checking the instructions. Disable. Materials array corresponds to some meshes adding obviously much. You blank materials of the right size. Okay, so we'll do a material array equals new material size 1. We're gonna do material array of new mats. So equals new mats, and then do a okay. Let's just see what that looks like. What that does. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so what we're gonna basically do now here is okay, I got it. Alright, so we're gonna do a variable mat r is equal to that, and then for each var mat and mat r, mat equals to hoverable no hoverable no cannot assign to mat. Oh, what? No. Okay, so basically what we're gonna do is for int I equals 0, I is less than mat r dot length I plus plus mat r at 0 or at I equals hoverable now, and we gotta copy this basically. Or then we'll set materials equal to mat r like so, and now we're just gonna copy this, paste this, and paste this. So we're gonna go with, this is the only one that's okay right now. like so. Okay. Looking good. Also, on trigger, enter if other tag equals dining area. Private void on trigger exit. We also want to set if other dot tag dot equals dining area. Placeable controller dot instance dot selected placeable zone equals null. That was the problem with our kind of the position getting permanently locked onto the actual zone, because it's still set to that selected tile position, but then of course we're not actually getting anything. All right, so B, there is that. So we can see kind of this is red, and now we're getting a object like so. Press B, gets deleted. B again. Okay. Yeah, there we go. One thing that's weird, you can kind of see it turning red right away. So what do we do there? Probably actually set it to OK first, because white's a little bit more transparent on the eyes. It would make sense for it to be OK first. So let's go back into here, and that's a place object, and oh, we're already doing OK. Oh, no, right here. Up here. Okay. Like so. So basically, just every object is going to have like a transparent little look to it. So press B. It's our table, it's our thing. So it's red thing, the white thing. So yeah, that's following correctly. Start snapping here. Object reference nonsense to an instance of an object. Okay, so that's where our trigger is getting set to null on the conversion, weirdly. Yeah, so like at these bounds, the trigger is basically exiting right here and then entering this really quickly, and is setting that to null. So how do we handle that? I don't know. I don't know right now. Okay. So ghost object if building mode and not player hovering. Okay. And index does not equal 0, or if select, and selected placeable object does not equal null. Okay. Basically, very simple. We don't even want to have a ghost object or do anything with the ghost object because when we're switching, it looks like it's breaking because we have that ghost object being set there. So if we go to B, scroll like this, now we're good. Look at that. Look at that. We have areas where we're allowed to place objects, and we can see the grid snapping to it, and we have basically some exclusions. Can't see that actually right now, but we can place those. Oh yeah, and we're gonna need to add currency. the notions. So, if not obstructed, and let's see. Ah, shit. Player controller. Oh, I didn't want to have to access the player controller and placeable controller. Okay. Actually, what we can do is it's okay to not have it red. I think it would just be you need more money. Oh, great. Or we can just do a simple is afford, can't afford. We could do a simple another boolean public bool player can afford, and that's gonna equal true by default. Not a book, a boo. Okay, and then let's go to our player controller. Building mode, enter on attack. Let's go on our fixed update up here. Handle is live. I'll actually just do update like so. We'll set placeable controller dot instance dot player can't afford is equal to player. I'll say player placeable controller dot instance dot selected object dot cost is dot get component placeable object dot cost is less than or equal to currency. Okay. So here. And player can't afford. Bam. Like so. A whole bunch of jumbled mess. Lovely. Always lovely. Okay. Already seen that. Oh, yeah. If placeable controller dot instance dot selected placeable object does not equal null, and then we don't even need to have parentheses because it's just one line. Okay. And now, let's go do the skin. And we should see nothing like so. B. Okay. Table. Place a few tables. Can't place it there, obviously. Can't place it up there, of course. Because that's a bug. So that's good. That is looking like that. And we can place that. And now it's all red because we cannot afford it. But if we do that and do that, ooh. That's never... Okay. So, why is that? Oh, well that's simply because if we go down here and go this is only on building mode entered. So, we're going to go like this. And we're going to go back up to update. And now we do need the parentheses. So, okay. All right, so now if we go like this. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, there we go. Nice and simple. Press B. I'm gonna place that. If we're hovering like that, do that, and then it's going to not have us of our hovable object. Like so. Very nice. Very nice. Do. All right, very nice. Let's see. We got probably not. You should probably not. Interesting. Have to fix that. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, that should be fixed. Okay. So we got snapping, like so. One weird thing is that they do create shadows. Like so. So how would we... Is it because it's unlit, though? Okay. And this material... let's see. Prefabs, if we go into here, let's look at some of our settings we can do. Lighting, cast shadows on. So, what we're going to do is, in our mesh renderer, in placeable controller, like so. And then, ghost object, I should probably, ghost object dot get component. In children, mesh renderer, dot, let's see, cast shadow casting mode, equals false. So, okay, so, let's see, shadow, see shadow, static, can, get, let's see, shadow casting mode equals to dot off. Okay, interesting. So now there shouldn't be any shadows casted by the ghost object. Okay. Yeah. Delete that. Delete that. there's that. Cool. So now we have our ghost objects. Look at that. I don't see much else we might need to do for this. Let's make sure it's not casting shadows. B. Like so. Wait for the day to hit. Yep, no shadows being casted by the ghost object. Still place it in the player, but I think you can probably glitch yourself. Like, actually, no, you can't because you're not close enough to the walls, right? Oh no, we pushed ourselves through the wall. Cool. Obviously, you can't place anything right here because we're not on a grid. Okay. There's that. Great. That's always fun. Oh, well, that one makes sense. Okay, need to do all this then. Just fixing some stuff on the Discord. Always nice and fun here. Okay, what's that? Okay, that's because I got lazy. Nice. So, we can place objects like so. And cool. There's that. Let's see. So, how long do I have it set to day-night cycle? 2 minutes. Set in night. All right, let's play test. Let's play test a little bit. So now we have place objects. We do per wave earn some money. So let's start creating a little bit of barricades. Okay. So there we go. Okay. And we can sell those if we want, but exit building mode. Okay. I go into placeable objects. That does place the small tables correctly under the placeable objects like so. We're getting ready. So if I click this, if I'm just clicking any of these, this is because we're not in building mode or anything. Does look like they're not going to get deleted. That's the intended case, of course. Okay. Now, we just wait for the zombies. We should see them be able to update their pathing around these. Actually, you know what? I'm going to space these out a little bit differently. Uh-oh. Oh, interesting. Okay. That was a little weird. Of course, we got a little bit of bugs when it comes to switching across different zones like so. But let's set it like that. And that's, of course, a little bit off because the zones aren't correctly configured. Oh, we got one coming into the back. So, let's take care of him. Okay. Like so. And one thing I am going to do... Ah, crap. I can't actually access that pretty quickly. Bam. Bam. And there's another little thing. I don't really know what happens with that. But he's going to go off for a little bit. That's a little something to... look at in the near future. So wave number 2, we got some zombies coming in here. Let me go down and make it a little bit harder for myself. Basically, I'm just gonna go set the actual weapon I use damage to not be the health. So right here, see weapon damage 10. We're gonna set that to, let's set it to 4. Might as well. So that will be a 3-shot. Bam. Bam. And then bam. Gotta kite these guys. Right. There's that. I think what it has to do with is when they die while changing animations, I think their velocity is still, like, it's getting set to move before they die, basically. So there's like a weird little thing where it's changing that and signifying stuff. We might be avoiding that, stopping of the moving script. So that's something we'll have to see about later. That's going to be in a debugging stream. It's a known bug, known issue. Okay, got wave 3. I should technically have some more money if we look at the currency. Yep, I'm up to 200. You get 100 per night. Of course, that is going to change. Oh, got some lag coming up here. I think that's because that's just editor. Oh yeah, forgot. Yeah. Oh, I'm about to die. Game's a little hard, especially when these guys hit freaking hard like that. And they hit pretty. Yeah, they do hit pretty hard. For the amount of health you have. So maybe we'll increase the player's health a little bit. Maybe the 10 hearts. Because we do have 10 hearts set there. Yeah. So we made it to round 3. And maybe we space out that the zombies can miss. Also, stopping the hit is... I don't think it's probably the best way to go about it. Like stopping the player when we're striking. Excuse me. That just it felt a little off, you know, when it came down to it. Okay, so let's pull up our to-do list. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna deload like that. Okay. Here is our roadmap. Ghost object hover. To do is done. Let's unbolden that. So pre-existing objects. That's next up on the basics of the placeable objects. So pre-existing objects, quite simple. What are we gonna want to do with those? So we can always just place them in the scene, and make them sellable. Give them basically placeable objects. So that's probably what we're gonna do. So what we could do is just start. Let's make a prefab environmental. Those are small table. This is a placeable object. Loud zones empty. Oh yes, that's the other thing we were gonna want to do. Making multiple zones. I don't feel like doing that right now. Okay, so let's just place some of these bad boys down. Okay, I love it when that gets a little weird. Okay. You know, like an actual diner. Okay. You know, it might even be better having some grid snapping on. like so. A little uniform. And yeah, there is chairs and such that we will be adding currently. I don't know how I'm going to want to handle chairs, because those would be maybe a little bit smaller. I can't have a good spot with the chair. But what's the incentive to buy the chair, you may be asking. I have thought of that, I promise. A lot of these objects are going to have incentives for the player to keep because it's part of the progression in the game. There is a big feature I have not yet to disclose, and it doesn't look like anybody's actually watching right now, so if someone sees this, then you're going to get a little snippet of the idea. But we might have a little mini game in the middle of everything that is basically how you make money, and you're going to want better weapons as zombies progress. Obviously, you saw round 3, I was dying pretty heftily, pretty quickly. And those are the basic zombies, and we're going to have range zombies and such. We're going to have a lot of different things, so definitely going to need some more health, I think. Because I think up to... And also round 1 and such, those should be more or less the easier rounds. Interesting that the grid snapping just came off like that. They should be a lot easier of rounds, I would say. Like round 1, of course, the easiest round, but they're going to have more than 3 zombies. And in fact, we'll probably turn the zombies' move speed down as well. I don't know how I like stopping the player while they're attacking. It definitely felt a little bit off. Maybe slowing them down. I think that might be a good way to handle it. That's gonna open up a whole nother can of worms for animations though, such as having to have basically his body cut in half. So where if you're walking backwards while attacking, you obviously want to look like you're walking backwards. It's gonna be a whole different little thing. So let me go ahead and grab all these objects like so. And we're gonna place those under cancel. We're going to place this under placeable objects. Children of prefabs cannot be moved. Components cannot be reordered. No. Okay, we'll just leave them in the scene then, because those are all pre-made placeable objects. So, now that we have some tables in here, I wonder how the chairs would look. So, for the chairs, we need to go to art, other models, no, diner, prefabs, like so. And we got a few different chair selections, but for instance, this is our basic chair. We're probably in the... So that's probably going to be something like that. You probably have to sit pretty far away. So maybe we'll create an object that's a back-to-back chair, or... I don't really know. If I rotate this 90, like so. That's kind of how the chair might look. We'll need more spacing, obviously, between these. So instead, like that, Control V, and then we'll do a -90, like so. All right, that's a little bit better. Yeah, but I'm not too concerned about that right now. Because also these have colliders, but you're gonna be able to go through them. This is literally just for aesthetics, seeing how things might look out. We haven't even applied the actual shader filter that I wanted to add yet. That's going to be like the last thing we do for proof of concept. And hopefully that's going to make everything look good. So if we come over here, we got a bunch of tables now. And some chairs set up. And we can, of course, we cannot run into those. Zombies will get a little bugged out about them. But yeah, so we'll have to go down some narrow lanes like that. We have an opening, serve maybe some things. Yeah, and then so during the day, just chilling, making some money, upgrading stuff. If we go to building mode, of course we can't actually place anything because we started weirdly. So that's where, yes, it will be. We need to set that to where, these things actually are already denoting on the grid if they're taking up things. We could maybe do that on a start. Raycast. We put all these prefabs into a game object. And each one of them basically just grabs whatever zone they're in and raycast to a position, and then using those offsets and such, we get the tile world position, or do the inverse of that actually, and basically just set those tiles being obstructed, because obviously we don't want them to be able to place like that or like that, but we can delete those, place that like that. And we do need these to kind of line up to the grid, honestly, in a way. We don't need them to, but it would look a little bit better, of course, like so. And another thing we got to keep up on the radar is actually, obviously, that's why, making the wall right here basically transparent. If we're basically, what we're gonna do is have a raycast maybe from the wall to the player, and if the if our viewport, our camera angle, basically like right here, once we start touching it, it should begin to fade. Hey you, get out of here, both of you guys. We got a object is not set into a reference in placeable zone. Okay. Wonder what that was about. Look at that. I am seeing this really come together. Yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby indeed. So you can even see how the weapon controller works up right here. Yep. Got some dead zombies. Getting some more money. Basically, I think in the future we're definitely gonna have a smaller diner. Or I don't know. This is definitely, there's a lot to think about, because this is going to be our main playable space. Obviously, this is where we don't want them getting into. So maybe out here, we'll have on our property, allowing them to, well, obviously, we're going to have to allow them to place some things out here. But probably in their property, maybe not in the street or anything. Zoning laws and all that. There'll be some luring objects as well. Maybe we could put that in there. Maybe we can also have them, instead of coming from straight on like that, coming from directionally based. So we just like have multiple spawn points for each direction, and then each round we switch which direction the zombies are coming from. Or we have them from two directions once the waves get high enough and such like that. Okay. Well, it is a little weird walking through these doorways sometimes. Maybe we should largen them up sometime. Hey. Oh, and there we go. It's definitely seemed weird. So there's another thing. Maybe making that attack collider not the size of the actual weapon. Uh, the zombie's hand. Well, I kind of did what I wanted to do today. That didn't take too long. But yeah, a lot of things right now are probably not the way exactly how we want it, because obviously I didn't even be able to select that like that. The cursor object, don't really know how I'm going to handle that. Right now it's set up for only one player. I'm going to need to probably go back and figure out how I'm going to set that up for multiplayer. I don't even know how multiplayer works in Unity yet. But should be okay. Systems aren't too flushed out, so maybe after proof of concept is where we start incorporating multiplayer aspects. I think that'll take probably another couple months to implement, but right now we're not looking too bad. Let's see what's next up on list. Pre-existing objects, pretty simple. All we got to do is figure out how to not make them make them have like taken up things, or no, not taken up things. I mean, have them basically make that tile obstructed. Then currency, flush that out, put it into the UI. Other grid locations, because we need to flush that out as well. Certain objects are placed in certain sections, so that should be simple enough. So yeah, then we got some more weapons. Pan, a kitchen knife, ranged, a gun, grenades, a grenade, basic inventory system, a basic store system where we can buy things, some basic healing objects, some more enemies, assets. So let's go through and look at what we have already. So in our diner, we have glasses, a coffee pot. See if we have any food or anything. No weapons. This is just... we do have a ketchup bottle, which is cool. So let's go to other... Got that. Polygon City. This one has a good bit of stuff. Buildings. Let's do props. So we have a lamppost, bottle, taco, cola, popcorn, pizza, burgers, hot dogs, donuts. Yeah, so we got some healing items already. So if we go into Toon Shooter game, container crates, debris, dumpster, exploding barrel, fence, gas can. We got a health. So we got a health kit. Don't really want to use that. We got a knife. That'll be good. Landmine, metal fence, pallet broken, pipes, pistol. Got a good pistol for that. Rocket launcher. Do we have any grenades? Probably not. Sofa, sniper, gas can, fire grenade. Oh, yeah, there's a grenade right there. Exploding barrel, dumpster, debris pile, character hazard, hazmat, character enemies, cardboard boxes, character soldiers, a key, shovel, shotgun. UI and 2D. Oh, that's mine. What was the other thing? I want a frying pan. See if we have a frying pan in here. I doubt it, but you never know. Some ducks. Not looking too promising right now. Diner maybe? There's a plate. Yeah, well, we have some good assets already to create some more weapons and such with. So that would be fun to implement. Tuning some things for sure, and just continuing to work on it. I'm going to sign off for the lab today. It was a very chill sesh. I mean, kind of looked like a mess, obviously. I Woke up very early. Gonna get some rest. Probably do some of the lounge tonight, playing Ashes of Creation. But yeah, if you guys want to join on that, feel free. But yeah, this is Red signing off. Always remember, the good is out there, just one step away. Take care, guys.